Yes. Yes. For everybody. Okay.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Mingwei Song. I teach at Wellesley College. It's my honor to be here, to be together with the two poets. Actually, many more poets, I believe, sitting here, but particularly two poets who are going to read from their recent books. One is Mr. Wang Jiaxin. Okay, I'm just going to do some introductions and you two are going to do the reading. Mr. Wang Jiaxin is one of the leading poets of China. He actually emerged as a major voice of contemporary Chinese poetry in the 1980s. And he has published more than a dozen, actually maybe 2 dozens of books of poetry and more than, again, a dozen or maybe 2 dozens of books of critical essays. His essays are mostly about poets and poetry from outside China. And he himself is a distinguished, actually excellent translator. For example, he's a leading translator of Paul Celan into Chinese and published a huge volume of the poems, of Celan's poems in Chinese. He received many awards in China and internationally. He's currently a professor of Chinese literature at Renmin University in Beijing. In recent years, 2 books of his poetry in English translation have been published in the United States, including Darkening Mirror and at the same time published by Arrowsmith here in Boston. Both books were translated by John Balcom. We will hear from Wang Jiaxin, read from at the same time. And should I introduce both of you, and then we can do it more like a
sure.
In a more like a you read for you.
Yeah,
you read
sounds
for
good.
Yeah. Okay. We also have here Shangyang, who actually teaches at UMass Boston, almost like a local, even though I know perhaps it's something I shouldn't say, but we hope to keep him here. He belongs to a much younger generation of Chinese poets. He writes in both Chinese and English. His poems have appeared in many famous and important American literary magazines, and his debut poetry collection, Bearing the Mountain, appeared in 2021. Actually, he published that book only 1 year after graduating from the Michener Center for Writers at the University of Texas at Austin. Just 1 year after finishing school, he published the debut collection, and I knew that you're the youngest author published by that press. I think it's called the Kenyon Press, right? Yeah. Obviously, he's still very young, and then he published a second book recently. This book is called Study of Sorrow, kind of like a collection of creative translations of the Ci poetry from the Song Dynasty. That's from over like 800, almost 1,000 years ago. And he gave those poems a contemporary voice in beautiful English. Okay, I think now we should hear from you and you.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Mingwei, for the wonderful introduction, and thank you for coming out today. It's the coldest day in the last 2 days, but still warm for the rest of the winter. I will be reading for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I will read 2 poems written by me that is coming from a book forthcoming on my next poetry collection from Kenyon Press. It will be published next spring. So I will begin with a poem from that book, and then I'll read translations, and then I will end with a poem from that book. Autobiography. Many apricots ago, I was a child. The world had yet to enter me, my body small, consuming limited space, limited materials, meaning the world and I, we owed each other so little. Evenings, my mother bent over the sink, imitating the faucet. I measured those days by the decay of each apricot. The pits, permanent, I supposed, were the shape of all sorrow. My black hair thick and oily, my hands grew large, becoming tools for other hands that opened me. The world entered as a famished cat. I fed it with my inside. Standing at my grandmother's funeral with a white chrysanthemum on my chest, I thought I could cry for the rest of my life. I grew, consuming baskets of fruits, perceiving the mortal aspect of them, their use, meaning I am human now, demonstrating the passage of time with my body, then with the understanding of my body in relation to others. I only recognize that sex is designed to be good. The apricots acknowledge that, closing themselves in June rain into complete mysteries. I sit on the balconies most day, watching rain when it is rainy, waiting when it is not. I can barely tell imagination from reality. I have the background of, I studied engineering in my undergraduate time, and my friends, I like to show my engineering friends who are non-poets my poems, and when they read that line, "You can't tell the real from the imagined, are you okay? Do you need help?" I was like, not for a few years, but recently I read a passage, a short stanza from the Iraqi poet Dania Mahai, and she said, "All children are poets until they quit the habit of searching for butterflies that are not there." Oh my God, it's so good. And then a few months later, they're like chicken soup for the soul post online, like, "Stop chasing the butterfly, mend your garden, the butterflies will come." Like, but not the butterflies that are not there, right? Even if you chase them, they won't come. And I love this oddity and complete uselessness of poetry. So here are more butterflies. These are translation of Song Dynasty poems from almost 1,000 years ago. I always worried they might sound corny because, old poetry are sentimental. I'll read both the Chinese and English. 木兰花张先。乡里徒有相逢梦，门外马蹄尘已动。怨歌留待最时听，远目不堪空寄送。今宵风月知谁共？深夜琵琶槽上凤。人生无物比多情，江水不深，山不重。Departure. After tonight, what's left of you is you moving into my dream. Outside, the horse hooves stamping the ground, the dust moves. No sorrowful songs for me unless I am drunk. I am drunk. Forgive me that I couldn't bear to see you off, vanishing with the sun. Alone with the west wind and the moon, alone listening to the pipa sobbing, its peck box carved into a phoenix. Listen, crying bird, to live without this grief is to see the mountain without its weight, rivers without depth. 醉花阴李清照。薄雾浓云愁永昼，瑞脑消金兽。 佳节又重阳，玉枕纱厨，半夜凉初透。东篱把酒黄昏后，有暗香盈袖。莫道不销魂，帘卷西风，人比黄花瘦。These are long days, days of waiting, stretched longer by the clouds thickening over the weak fog, and the smoke of burnt camphor rising from the golden incense box. Once again, it is the Chongyang festival, jade pillow and gauze tent, a coldness permeating the midnight. Holding a cup of rice wine at the east fence, my sleeves filled with the odor of old blossoms. Don't tell me that the soul won't be abraded by this dense scent of love sickness. The west wind rolling up the curtain. I am thinner than a yellow chrysanthemum. 清平乐·赵令志。春风依旧，着意随堤柳。搓得蛾儿黄欲救，天气清明时候。去年子墨青门，今宵雨破云魂。断送一身憔悴，只消几个黄昏。On the Sway embankment, spring wind hasn't changed a bit, kneading willow sprouts till they turn light yellow, the texture of duck feathers. Last year, we walked on the purplish pathway to the city gate. Tonight, clouds after rain assemble a loose apparition of you. How many more sunsets can a heart endure? Expectancy thins me, and the twilight can kill a man. Sadly, there have been war happening in this time. There's a section, this book is collated into 7 different chapters divided by theme, and there's a chapter of wartime. 秋波妹陆游，秋到边城角声哀，烽火照高台。悲歌击筑，凭高泪酒，此性悠哉。多情谁似淮南山月，特地暮云开。灞桥烟柳，曲江池馆，应待人来。Gazing from afar at the capital on July 16th. Autumn has reached the villages on the frontier. The bugle whimpers, the beacon towers are lit, enemies are coming. The soldiers are strumming zhu zither, singing death songs. Wine is poured in libation for the dead to keep the dead from returning to us. The moon over the southern hills pushes open the evening clouds. We turn back to look at the willows enveloped in cooking smoke, the known alleyways and pavilions beside the Chu River in the capital. They've almost forgotten our faces. 柳梢青，刘成翁。铁马蒙毡，银花泪洒，春入愁城。笛里翻腔，街头戏鼓，不是歌声，那堪独坐青灯，想故国高台月明，眼下风光，山中岁月，海上心情。Feelings in spring. In this occupied district, soldiers in wool felts ride ironclad horses through burnt woods. Fireworks toss silver sparks like tear streaks of the night sky. Spring came, regardless to this city assembled with skeletons. Foreign melodies come from our local flutes, each drumbeat followed by a shriek. Those are not songs. The lamp flickers green. I sit thinking of the lost capital, high terrace where the moon shines. My people, where are you? Ears in the mountains, hearts on the sea. there's a crazier section. It's called Unbridled. It's actually one of my favorite sections. The poems are quite unchained in here. There was a poem about, I think, getting drunk and talking to a tree, and asking the tree to piss off. I'm not going to read that one. I'm going to read another one written by the same poet, Qin Qiji, who was actually a general in the Southern Song dynasty. 甚夷吾衰矣，唱平生，郊游零落，只今于己。白发空垂3000丈，一笑人间万事。问何物能令公喜？我见青山多妩媚，料青山见我应如似。情与貌略相似。一尊搔首东窗里，想渊明停云施救，此时风味。江左沉酣求名者，岂识卓劳庙里。回首叫风飞云起，不恨古人吾不见，恨古人不见吾狂耳。知我者23子。Now that I'm old, those who cross the mountains and oceans with me are parts of the mountains and oceans. I still call those dirty skeletons my friends. My friends, now that my white hair is 30,000 feet long, taking up so much room around me, nothing in this life can't be concluded with a laugh. All those infatuated dreams of fruitless desire, years in the military, and my ambition in politics to serve my nation since youth, all these are like the porridge dumped into a slop bucket. What can make me happy? What has ever made me happy? Suddenly, I recognized the Blue Mountains as dashing and handsome, didn't know all the while the Blue Mountains thought the same about me. After all, we look similar, the same wrinkly crags and cliffs, mosses and mustaches, and now the same stone heart we share. Holding a pot of wine, I scratch my head at the east side window, wondering if Tao Yuanming felt the same after he finished his poem about the halted clouds. What do those politicians, delirious at the left bank of the Yangtze, understand about the true nature of drinking? Their feet in sewage, fishing feverish dreams of fame and money? I turn to holler at the empty landscape to startle the clouds and the storm surges. I don't feel sorry that I can't meet those dead ancient poets. Instead, I feel sorry for them not being able to drink with me, a man writ large, unbridled, and wild. Friends, I am understood only by the mountains, your buried bones. Let me check the time. All right, we're on the right track. I'm just going to read 2 more from this book because last poem I'm going to read from that I wrote was quite long. This is I think one of the greatest writer across history and culture, called Anonymous. Anonymous in Chinese oftentimes they're farmers, peasants, fishermen. So that is why I feel their poems has such musicality for them to be remembered. And you can hear the musicality in this Chinese version, even though you probably don't speak Chinese, but you can hear it. 脉脉春阴半酒酣，风透春山，雨透春山。人家桑事玉绵三，桑满筐篮，这满筐篮。仙字离怀百不堪，强燕呢喃，良燕呢喃。勾灯强把锦书看，人在江南，心在江南。Can you hear it? It's beautiful. The translation isn't much so. Late spring drizzle moistens my thin clothing cooling in the breeze. This afternoon I will feed my silkworms with a basket of mulberry leaves and a basket of melonberry leaves. I will listen to the swallows on the beam, swallows on the mast. I will light all candles to read your letter after dark. I am not in Jiangnan. I am nowhere but Jiangnan. It's kind of an ars poetica moment that reading transport us to the place where the beloved is at. Going to read the last book of a lot of these poems are very sad. That's why it's titled Study of Sorrow. The last poem by the poet Li Qingzhao. Since it's spring, it's a poem, a very short poem about spring. She's at the end of her life. She wants to die. There's a sentence saying, "I'm the only thing withering away in Nanjing," which is a city in China. I feel the same about like Boston. Same sentiment. 庭院深深深几许，云窗雾隔长穹。柳梢眉萼见分明，春归莫林树，人老健康沉。感月迎风多少事，如今老去无尘。谁怜憔悴更凋零，试灯无意思，踏雪没心情。The courtyard deep in the deep shadow of groves, the closed windows further locked in by mist. Some trees budding, the usual pattern of spring. I think I'm going to die in this region. My life spent singing about the moon, the wind, I accomplished nothing. I'm the only thing withering away in Boston. I have no desire to hang up the lanterns, no desire to walk in the last snow. Oh, thank you. There's one more poem. This is a poem I wrote after actually I finished this project. My editor asked me to write an essay about it. So there's an essay at the back of the book. I hate writing essays. So it's like, let me concurrently write a poem. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I have many wonderful friends who don't read at all, engineering friends. But I really love sending my work to them. They would give some of the most absurd comments, either like it or hate it or don't understand it. But this is how the poem started. In this book, there's a poem with the line something about the moon of Huainan who freezes 1,000 mountains in one night. And my friend read it and texted back saying, "The moon of Huainan sounds no different from the moon of Arkansas." Like, what the heck do you mean? So, and then I wrote a 7-page poem, like trying to figure that out. So this is the poem, and it's a longish poem, so it has different strands. This is a poem also kind of in memory of my mentor, Louis Glick, who actually just lived across the street. Because translation somehow is about loss. Biography of the Moon. After reading my translation of Jiang Kui, my friend texted, "The moon of Huainan sounds no different from the moon of Arkansas." The art of precision, my teacher once said, each word must be fastened to its own finality. No word can stand in for another. There's a fiber of coldness in her tone on which 12 moons can settle. Jiang Kui, born almost 900 years ago, put down lines on love sickness in Huainan, a place exalted for the devastating sweetness of tangerines. He had never seen the moon of Arkansas or the Arkansas sorghum field under the moonlight so fecund, or that cowboy in shiny boots droops over his horseback like a burlap sack dying for love. The Arkansas mountains, all ink-washed on the sailcloth of evening, so beautiful Jiang Kui could have written, "The moon of Arkansas burnished in coldness freezes 1,000 mountains in one night." The music of names, for the first time, seems displaceable. I call my dead mentor a teacher's name, and her name is a harp with its strings missing. The music is gone, the music of my name from her mouth. 900 years ago, at a hotel beside Jingling River, Jiang Kui wrote to the dead, "To make me dream of you, your soul must have crept outside of your body to travel near my hairpin." The moonlight tonight, the same moonlight 900 years ago. Some poets must have written, "The moon rises beyond the body of earth like a soul." I don't dream of the moon. I only need to stare at it, and the world I'm in becomes a dream uninterrupted by the world I'm in. Arkansas, a place I've not been but feel nostalgic about. Possum pie, whatever that is, and biscuits with chocolate gravy I've not had but miss. I miss them as I miss the tangerines in Huainan, a sweetness I've not had. At the end of the poem, Jiang Kui wrote, "When your soul walks back, she walks back alone, abandoned like the rest of us." Which is a mistranslation, for the subject of the sentence, instead of "your soul," should have been the moon, who returns to the darkness alone, who cannot be possessed to be abandoned, but only untended by humans. I was at my teacher's yard in the spring of California, red peonies ravishing. When she talked about poetry, there was a fleck of flame locked inside her iris, making the whole garden dissolve. I dissolved. Between us, drafts of poems on the table, a jar heavy with blue-white blossoms. Part of the impulse to translate is to preserve, says a friend, which implies an afterlife. Jiang Kui, you don't know me, and I, who doesn't own a jade hairpin, am dreaming of you, translating your music wrongly. Your bamboo mattress becomes bamboo mattress in English, peonies that are small vermilion palanquins, and your youth like 10 miles of spring breeze I can't greet. I greet you by memorizing, in this world there is no grief when breakup outlasts memory. That imagined boy riding his imagined horse in the imagined sorghum field is dying for his imagined love, not knowing love must be real for the imagined to take place. The dead must be real for the living to be imagined. Perhaps the moon of Huainan is another devastating mistranslation, which should have been the tangerine of Arkansas. Perhaps what can't be substituted is the preposition of, a watermark of where, which time cannot edit out, a desire not just to experience the earth through the senses, but to possess it, though that's not really the point. The point is, the poet looked at the moon once, so we have these words to weep on. So we look at the moon, then we look at the earth to forget about the moon, then we look at the moon to forget about the earth. Each eye is a home country to the orphaned worlds it witnesses. The moon of Budapest, the moon of Bangladesh. There's no place to which the moon is fastened as a pair of eyes fastens the moon. Unfasten the moon, says the poet, in me. You don't need it. You will know your way in the darkness. You must rely on nothing to live. Thank you.
Okay, after Shangyang, another Jiang Kui, who come to life in Boston. Okay, I never thought one day I did my poems here. But this bookstore, Grolier, many Chinese know this poetry bookstore in China, many. So I think more maybe 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, when I was in Boston, the first thing I wanted to visit this bookstore. So I got here. I found a collection of Polish poet, Zajajewski, Polish poet. So I hold the book to pay for the book. So the bookman, a book boy, saw my book. Oh, you like Zajajewski? Me too. Then he come to take his bag, get out the collection of Dostoevsky to show me. So I wrote this experience in my essays, because Professor Mingwei introduced poet and essayist. So I wrote mainly essays, some essays to introduce Western poetry to Chinese poets and readers. Yeah. Okay. I like to read my poems in Chinese. Then I ask someone
Lucy
to
will
read the translation. Yeah. So Shangyang's reading is so good, attractive. But I prefer read the Chinese, the 宋词 in Chinese. Maybe next time we cooperate.
Okay.
Okay, the first poem I'm going to read, In Your Room. 在你的房间里，在你的房间里，无论你在墙上挂的是一匹马，还是大师们的照片，甚或是一幅圣彼得堡的素描，都会成为你的自画像。而在你散步的街道上，无论你看到的是什么树，也无论你遇到的是什么人，你都是他们中的一个。你没有什么理由骄傲。
Okay, I'm gonna read the English translation. Do I? Oh,
Yeah.
我现在可以。Okay. In your room. In your room, no matter what pictures you hang, be it of a horse, photos of the masters, or even a sketch of St. Petersburg, they all become your self-portrait. And when you stroll down the street, no matter what tree you see or what person you run into, you are just one of them. You have no reason to be proud.
Thank you. 第二首田园诗。田园诗，如果你在京郊的乡村路上漫游，你会经常遇见羊群。它们在田野中散开，像不化的雪，像膨胀的绽开的花朵，或是缩成一团，越过公路，被吆喝着滚向尘土飞扬的沟渠。我从来没有注意过它们，直到有一次我开车开到一辆卡车的后面，在一个飘雪的下午，这一次我看清了他们的眼睛，而他们也在上面看着我，那样温良，那样安静，像是全然不知他们将被带到什么地方，对于我的到来，甚至怀有几分孩子似的好奇。我放慢了车速，我看着他们消失在越来越大的雪花中。
Pastoral poem. If you wander the country roads outside the capital, you will often see flocks of sheep spread out over the fields like patches of lingering snow, like swollen buds bursting into bloom or loudly herded, pressing together, crossing the road, rolling down the ditch where the dust rises. I never really paid attention to them until I found myself driving behind a truck on an afternoon as the snow was falling. I clearly saw their eyes that time, and they were looking down at me, so calm and so meek, as if oblivious to where they were being taken, even treating my approach there with a childlike curiosity. I slowed my car. I watched them vanish amid ever larger snowflakes.
Thank you. Yes, my poems. Yeah, is another kind of study of sorrow. Yeah. So when a famous American poet John Balcom visited Beijing, she read these poems, and she liked very much, very much. Yeah. I asked her, when you read these poems, do you think of Auschwitz? She said, "Oh my God." Later, she told me her hair stand on. Yeah. So some Chinese readers say this poem is passed through so-called past Auschwitz pass through. They say these poems. So I wrote this poem first. Later, I have to give this poem a title. So I think of the title. Suddenly, the title come pass through, because I hope when readers read these poems, they could collect these poems to the tradition, to pass through tradition, both in China and in the West. If they read the poem in this way, they may feel much more. Yeah. 在老子故里，老子故里啊。So this afternoon, when Boston, not so far from here, I saw a bookstore. I saw a lot of the Chinese the books about Chinese culture, philosophy, also 道德经. There are many different translations. 道德经. So these poems about 老子, about 道德经. 在老子故里，传说老子一生下来就老了，老子没有童年。除了孔子前来问你，无人知道老子是谁。我们登上陡峭孤拔的老君台，已是在2500年之后。生逢乱世，行至函谷关，他交完他的税就走了。有人说他化为一只鹤，也有人说他至今仍滞留在丹麦。像布莱希特那样，一边听着从收音机传来的故国的嚎叫声，一边用一支无用之笔写下他幸福的流亡日记。
In the native place of Laozi, legend has it that Laozi was born an old man. Laozi had no childhood. No one but Confucius, who asked him about the rites, knew who Laozi was. We climbed to Laojuntai, high up and precipitous, 2,500 years later. Living in troubled times, he went to Hangu Pass, where he paid his toll in full and left. Some say he became a crane. Others say he's held up in Denmark to this day. Like Bertolt Brecht, listening to the howl of his old country over the radio while using a pen of no use to write in his fortunate journal of exile.
So my poem about 老子啊，老子not like Confucius 啊，老子英文为 Chinese we know 老子a little bit because 老子about his life they are not well documented as Confucius. Yeah. So even for us, 老子 is a myth, 是个神话啊，或者是一个传说，是让难解的。So in this poem, I try to bring 老子 back to our time, to become our contemporary. 方小林一茶。So during the epidemic lockdown,
Lockdown.
yeah. Beijing, we have to stay at home for 1 or 2 months, more than 2 months. Some people went to crazy. So during that time, I would think of a Japanese haiku master, Xiaolin Yicha.
Kobayashi Isa.
Yeah. So I wrote this poem. 仿小林一场，我们走在地狱的屋顶上，凝望着花朵，小林一场。有时我们走在地狱的屋顶上，凝望着花朵；有时我们走在花朵的边缘上，俯瞰着地狱。现在我再一次从窗口望出去，什么也没有。我多想回到我的地狱的屋顶上，凝望着花朵。
After Kobayashi Isa, we walk on the roof of hell, gazing at flowers. Kobayashi Isa. Sometimes we walk on the roof of hell, gazing at flowers. Sometimes we walk on the edge of the flowers, looking down into hell. I look out the window again now, seeing nothing at all. How I long to return to the roof of my hell, gazing at flowers. February 2020, Beijing, during the COVID lockdown.
That's mainly yes, the friends. You may know 这个小林一茶啊。I found the Japanese haiku is very popular in the States, maybe more than the other countries, because with European countries, many countries, many times, the States, so popular, yeah. 小林一茶 this poem, I think it's translated by American poet Robert.His. I first read this poem, 小林一茶 poem from a Polish poet, Milos, yeah. In one of Milos' poems, he used Robert.His. translation. But later, we have many 小林一茶 translation, different translation in China. According to the different translation, I asked my friends who know Japanese well. I found Robert.His. translation is very different with other translations. Maybe it's not so. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's less faithful than other translations. But I prefer the Robert.His. translation. You see, he creates an image, the roof of hills. Of hills. The faithful translation may be in this world we went to hill, or we look at flower. Maybe it's more the faithful translation. But the Robert.His. translation, creative and anyway, I prefer because translation. Yes, I am a translator. I'm a translator. Maybe I like to talk about the translation, but we don't have enough time. Okay, go back to poem. 与此同时。与此同时，缅甸诗人克西在行刑室里被害，他还活着的器官被摘走。与此同时，我妻子新买来的一盘蝴蝶兰开了，在风中微微颤抖。与此同时，我上网看成都49中坠楼事件的最新消息。 官方通报上说，家属对调查结果无异议。那个高中生就那样死了。与此同时，我想写一首诗，不，我失掉了一首诗。
At the same time, the Myanmar poet Keti was tortured in an interrogation room. His living organs were removed. At the same time, my wife's recently purchased pot of moth orchids blossomed, swaying gently in the breeze. At the same time, I read the latest news online about a student who fell to his death at 49 High School in Chengdu. The official announcement is that the family has no objection to the outcome of the inquiry. And so died that young student. At the same time, I wanted to write a poem. No, I tore up that poem.
Thank you. So I use the title of the poem as a title of my book, published by my friend Asco, Arrowsmith. So also I want to because this collection is just the English translation, no bilingual, because I want to tell American poets and the American readers don't think I'm a stranger from another country, far, far away. Actually, we live in the same time. We may share so many things in common. Come on. 我看看时间呢，再读最后一首吧，再最后一首。念一首，在流泪的队伍中，在流泪的队伍中。几年前，顾斌曾给我打了一电话，老王，你知道吗？发现你的幼稚时，我哭了。而在今天，在委内瑞拉，在洪水般涌上大街的千千万万的人群中，当其他人都在奋勇喊着口号，一个30来岁的妇女却在止不住的哭，她边哭边跟上队伍。不要问她为什么哭，不要问，不要去问那个德国汉学家，不要去问一个泪流满面的囚徒，不要去问杜甫。诗人，如果你还想得救，那就加入这流泪的队伍。长诗的长夜，那永不破晓的长夜，那泪水的火把。
In the procession of tears. Several years ago, Kuping caught me. Wang, my friend, you know, when I translated your pomelo, I cried. And today, in Venezuela, thousands of people flooded the streets. While everyone else was shouting slogans, a 30-year-old woman just couldn't stop crying. He kept up with the procession. Don't ask why she is crying. Don't ask that German sinologist. Don't ask the prisoner whose face is covered with tears. Don't ask Du Fu. Oh, poet, if you wish to be saved, then join that procession of tears. Oh, the long poem of a long night with no daybreak. Oh, that torch of tears.
One kind of study of sorry, yeah. Okay, here, Professor Kubin, yes, a very famous German professor, scholar, and Chinese scholar and translator, yeah, my friends. So once he called me, Wang. You know, we know German were 他们都 very cold very cold. Maybe my poem make him in tear. Yeah. 杜甫 yes we know the 杜甫 I said 杜甫 when you read the 杜甫 the poems maybe you will often in tear. 杜甫 the tear the burning and real. This is the source of our poetry and our humanity. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Such a just don't know how to describe all the feelings, the feeling of joy, the feeling of humor, the feeling of sadness, the study of sorrow, study of the tremendous pain, the experience of love, the experience of intimacy, experience of aging, but also experience of war, experience of torture, experience of just what we all feel at the same time, shared experience. That's the power of poetry. It's the evening we share together. How wonderful! I hope that you will all, have a good evening.
有什么问题也可以，有没有这种环境
？Sorry， 没有。Just I think okay. Just want to clarify. Okay. So I think we I hope each of you will leave the evening leave this event, but continue your evening and continue having all these words, all these feelings, all this powerful poetry just still inside you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Shangyang, thank you. Please stand up.
Let's give the poets another round of applause this evening.
Thank you. Also, thanks to Lucy for reading.
Thank you, Mingwei Song, for doing the wonderful moderation this evening. Thank you again. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to everybody on Zoom. I hope you can hear me. We have some books for sale. Poets and translators will be signing books. Everyone in a chair, if you could please put your chairs up against one of the walls, I'd be very grateful. Thank you very much.
Very, very moving, very beautiful.
It's so powerful. All I think the arrangement of the sequence also creates the momentum, the moving up. The last 2 points.
Just the wisdom and the truth of the observation.
I just want to say a few words about myself. I'm also a poet, but I'm only writing Chinese, but also in English. I really think this friend of mine who passed away 2 years ago, her poems are truly wonderful. She's one of the most unique voice, from my generation, and also woman poet. How did she die so young? She died of a cancer. She had some poems that were written during the pandemic, actually, and that spoke to the time. Also, I told Harjo he said since maybe interesting. That shows.
刘老师怎么样啊？挺好的。你也这样，你也帮我带一本书给德国老师，好吧？啊，我送德国老师一本，这是你买的啊？好，谢谢。你叫什么名字？我把我叫赵伟婷。哎呀，谢谢，今天来了挺多人。
I was like, I think that's exactly, and that's not a good thing. The dynamic can be a very good model.
Well, again,
哦，是吗？
Oh, it's not
No, there's going to be online.
Oh, they're open.
Online journals. Yeah, because it reaches so much wider, easier audience.
不硕士是吗？这个文学方面。马上我去李老师。
Actually, I think it's great. Yeah.
Oh, let me see, Wang.
啊，
挺好，挺好的。
现在我在问一点，
人蛮多的，这
一般这个地方很少人，没几个人，一般这个地方一般很少人。
今天这个 event 还蛮不错的，来的人挺多。我的那个学生都来了，上班学生和那个 postdoc 都来，但他们可能就走了，因为他们可能下了课过来都没吃饭的，都不吃饭的。哦，你是哦，我们对，
效用
sorry，因为换了一个环境，对，我们还加了微信，看了我微信，还挺难
我这两天你带给刘老师，好吧？
带给王老师跳了，
放在信箱里面，我这个。他在上海给你上课吗？
马上要去台湾，王老师。
No, it's honestly like a whole. I was like, cool. Hi. I wanted to say hi. My name is Michener. I'm a Wellesley reading.
Oh, wonderful.
I never took your face.
When were you there? 2020年，2020。Okay. I taught many students 2020. Yeah, that year I remember, and yeah, I stay in touch with several of your classmates actually. Yeah, you are still in Boston. 在麻省理工哦，太棒了，太好了，学什么东西？太好了，wonderful，就是我们的，因为有 MIT 的这样一个 connection， 就 be part of 这个 experience。我主要是教teach literature， 对，所以你也对诗歌有兴趣才会来嘛。是，而且你如果是念那个理工的，可能确实这个对，刘老师快退休了，他明年可能退休。
但是基本上好久没有
哦呀，
这个怎么翻译啊？
太好了，太高兴了！我也跟他们 take a picture. Maybe can you take pictures for us?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, very good. Okay,
Why don't you guys go against the wall? I want to get a photo too.
We fold the chair.
No, I'll fold the chairs up. I got it.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna put this right here. Oh, heaven forbid.
The only Aesop one I know that I recall is from Salinger running through it, where he said, climb Mount Fuji, but slowly. Snail, climb Mount Fuji, but slowly, Anyway, so
One more time?
when's your book coming out? I was going to say, where we should get one. And then sometime in April, we'll It's a great loss because he's a real
yeah, I'm rather wealthy now.
Where are you looking for?
Yeah. Why didn't you get him?
He does fiction.
Well, no, but you're also doing poetry. He's the future. I teach it in college. That's my college. No, and listen, I've been in this world long enough to know how the poets, young poets, evolve and a state university cannot compete. But on the other hand, so I taught the youth. There's a lot of else because my students they take such courage to do what they do. First of all, many of them are first generation. I have a student she's going to study. I have another student whose father is in jail, whose brother is in jail, and she's crying. You know what I mean? These are lives that my wife is we have a building, 6 stories. My office is 6 floors. 10 or 15,000 students walk through that building. Because this state is so proud of its private schools and it doesn't try to support its public institutions in anything like equity. But anyway, I'm very glad for any Yeah. I mean, it's and at this moment, it's such a tough world to be in.
No, I think it was right after. Oh, wait. I think there's. Oh, really? I heard that she was a And then like chose Stegner, and the judge was like furious. It was kind of like, I'm never going to accept a Yale But I would say it's,
Russian.
I feel like it's very interested in the law. Like I'm like it's actually law school was really interesting. It's just
that's true.
because it made me be like I can't participate in this. And then so anyway.
That's bad. I haven't heard that anywhere.
It's really something. But also, lawyers to anything pipeline because I think I'm just trying to get out. I think there's like people trying to get in and then they're like,
Isn't that possibly
过来的时候拿个东西，
Is it because they were politically hostile to him? Is he as crazy as Trump? Really? Really? He was on you as You see, yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's something that I'm not able to judge whenever I see a very limited public appearances in the West.
Like, I don't know, I'm like,
Everyone saw it. He couldn't find the note inside. I couldn't find the note. Instead, I couldn't find the note. It didn't matter. It didn't answer. You know, it's the person to speak. You know,
One goes to Harvard, one goes to the library.
Hands of maniacs and child molesters.
Very stupid, very stupid.
Yeah, no, who knows? Again, with this war with Iran now, too. How is that going to end? What is that going to do? Yeah. I mean, you know, in the weirdness of politics, I'm glad to hear that China is supporting Ukraine. Obviously, the U.S. is not.
I think that's I think they realize that once you know the war, there will be a lot of projects. China wants to
Yeah, that's true. Well, of course, you're thinking about the resources. I mean, I wouldn't count on it, but those numbers, I don't think that Trump would stand up for anybody. No, of course not. Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry. I'm not. I just it goes back and forth. Well, you know, we just hired Patrick. You He was on like original dark art. We're publishing his book and Lloyd's. Yeah, he does poetry, he does animation, Creole, editing this, and he also writes. He wrote a very interesting book on Haiti that's very moving. And among other things, he says that Clintons are invested in Haiti in the world.
But I was sort of
Like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Introduce all the Plastic Mimi from Italy. Mimi from 他是和那个玛丽居里夫人讲，然后来到劳斯里做 postdoc， 非常很了不起的，那是EU 的时候拿到这个非常。
That was excellent. I will contact him. I know that.
I know that Jimmy was
with a bunch of other people.
So
These are great. Thank you.
Is there one?
And we just
Several break, yeah.
Here's after spring break. Okay.
Justin Bunny, like my very staff. It was like, it's like so I kind of went to one of your readings at the Boston Book Festival. No, you were also
Let's do it.
They're like a lot more like laid back. I don't know if they have this right back. And it's
Really quick. Good to see you. Let's take a photo, yeah.
So just
No, the three of you. The three of you.
Okay, sounds
And
there was actually
这是你的老师，这个我也有。
哎呦，对，我不喜欢那个，我不喜欢那个。
And then we were all in that
对，这
Laura's
个
class.
可能我还不能体
And then she was rarely because she was always like pretending to be
我们在等待干嘛？
等待那个大诗人，大诗啊，哎，王大师。
in the program, and then he's currently dating another person.
王大师，
And then they would
嘉欣要出去了，要走了，要走了。
我跟阿硕打过招呼。
他也去打招呼。我们拍个照片，拍个照片。那个书店的，给书店的留言。
they're gone. They're gone. They're gone. That's so funny. That's so great.
是他们这个老住嘛，
Does Deborah
都有
have
照片的。
younger
呀，对，这个也要留下一张照片。
But early he chose NYU over Iowa.
Just wait on him and then we'll take a photo.
张扬，
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Jane, you never get one when you're in it.
I think that would be fun.
Like I said, it's you, nothing else.
You'll be
我也试一试啊。
请用我的手机也拍一张吧，既然在等着我们前面，我们有
Yeah, no, my hair is
one more picture. Let's do one more picture.
Let's go get Shangyang.
One more picture.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, her first, and then you're looking at me. Or him. Hello. Nice to see you. Do you want to jump into you read tonight?
你要来啊，
Yeah,
你也
we can
是
jump
你
in.
朗诵者之一啊。来，前面。
就是这样。